Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Vitiello, and welcome to the Amenia Republican Channel. Today, we're joined by Will Truitt, candidate for Dutchess County Comptroller. Will, thanks for being here today.
Jamie and all the Town of Amenia Republican Committee, thank you for having me on today.
Absolutely. Will, for those who don't know you, can you share a little bit about your background and what led you to run for Comptroller?
Yeah, of course. And first, I want to apologize. My voice is a little hoarse. I was sick last week. A lot of people have been sick with the back to school times. This is often a time period where people get sick. So I was sick last week. But with me, I don't just lay down and rest. I keep going and I keep talking. And so my voice is a little hoarse. So I apologize for that. For anybody who doesn't know me, I've been a Hyde Park resident my whole life. I'm 30 years old. I went to Marist College. I first graduated from FDR High School in 2013, where I was the class president. I've always wanted to be very involved in everything it is that I do. But when I went to Marist College, I signed up as a business finance and accounting student, but always had a passion for politics and government and wanting to be involved. So my freshman year, I reached out to our new county executive at the time, Mark Molinaro, and I'd asked him, hey, is there any openings in your office? I would love to learn from you, a fellow young man who got involved at a young age, a conservative. And he welcomed me into his office, and I interned in his office as a budget intern, learning about how the county's budget's crafted, working with the department staff, and also shadowing Mark at events, going to events with him, answering the phones, and just all that good stuff. So I got involved at a young age and ended up deciding, you know what, why not give it a shot myself, run for the county legislature to represent the people of Hyde Park in the town of Poughkeepsie. That's the district that I represent, District 7. And I went out there, knocked on every single door in my district, whether you were a Republican, a Democrat, independent, did not matter to me who you were. I wanted to meet you. I wanted to introduce myself and say why I was running, to be a strong voice for the people. And I did that at the age of 19, and I ended up winning. I took out the incumbent who had been there for quite some time, and I represented that district for the last 10 years now. And it's been the honor of my life serving in the legislature. But Jamie, I've always believed in term limits. I don't think anyone should serve in any one particular office for a long, long period of time. And so my first term, I brought forward a bill for term limits for all members of the county legislature, for the executive, for comptroller, and it actually was rejected. I think it was 3-22 it failed. I was one of the only people to support term limits in Dutchess County. But after I was reelected, I brought it forward again, my second term, and it was adopted unanimously. So we have term limits. And to that spirit, 10 years is plenty long enough for anyone to serve in any one particular office. I'm proud of my time in the legislature. And with my background in finance and accounting, I want to continue to serve in the election for county comptrollers up this November, and I'm excited to continue to represent the people of all Dutchess County.
Well, Molinaro is a good person probably to have learned under. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe both of you share having started your elected life at 19 years old, which is an impressive accomplishment. Now, some residents may not know what a comptroller actually does. Could you explain the role in just plain terms, and why does it matter to taxpayers across the county and in Eastern Dutchess County?
Yeah, absolutely. So I can explain it. What I've done typically throughout the campaign is explaining it in layman's terms. I work in small business. For the last 8 years, I've been the financial manager of Metzger Construction down in Hopewell Junction. We are a local family-owned business. And just like any other small business, you have often you have the president or the CEO of a business. In our case, in county government, you have the county executive. So that's where I put that together. You compare in small business the president, CEO to the county executive, and then you have most businesses have a board of directors or a board of trustees who make many of the important decisions for a business. And I compare that to what the county legislature is. And then in any small business, you have a CFO. You have the person who's overseeing the finances of the company, making sure that money's being spent the right way, appropriately, effectively, and efficiently. And is the chief accounting officer, the person who's auditing your finances, making sure that they're being spent the right way and appropriately. And that is what I attune to the county comptroller. So you have those three roles that really are working in conjunction with one another to better the ship, to better county government, you have the county executive, the county legislature, and the county comptroller. And as I said, the county comptroller is a person overseeing how that money is being spent, ensuring that's being done effectively and efficiently.
So an incredibly important role, and
Yes.
maybe one that sometimes isn't thought about as much as it should be. If
Yep.
you're elected, what are your top priorities for making our county government more accountable and more efficient?
We have to keep a healthy, lean county government. And we've done that over the last 10 years that I've been serving in the county legislature. And I give so much of that credit to Mark Molinaro during his tenure as our county executive. He really led a good ship here in Dutchess County, a ship where we were able to reduce the property tax rate 10 consecutive years. Every year that I've been a member of the county legislature, we've had a balanced budget and we've maintained strong financial position so that we can reduce our county property tax rate, albeit by a small amount each year. But the cost of living in New York State is out of control. It's so expensive to live here anymore, and in particular, with the more people who are moving up here from the city because of how beautiful it is that we have here, our home in Dutchess County, our costs continue to rise. And just to really point out how strong we've been, we have a AA plus bond rating in Dutchess County, which is the highest bond rating of any county government in all New York State. And to put that in layman's terms as well, you and I and anybody that may be watching, most of us have credit cards, and therefore we have a credit score. So if let's say you have a credit card and you're allowed to borrow up to $10,000, but you spend about $8,000 of that on an every monthly basis when you go to make a payment, you're just paying the minimum. Most likely, you're going to have a very poor credit score. Well, we as a county government have a constitutional debt limit set by New York State that is $2.8 billion. So Dutchess County can go into $2.8 billion worth of debt for capital projects and for our spending. And right now, our utilization is only about 10% of that, about 280, 290 or so million dollars as of the end of 2024. And that is why we have such a strong credit score, our bond rating, that helps reduce the cost to borrow in case we need to go out to borrow for a big capital project. And so all of these things in mind, I truly believe we need to keep going on the path that we've been on, and that's to keep Dutchess County fiscally strong. We also have a fund balance that is our taxpayer protection fund. It's our rainy day fund. At the end of 2024, we were a little over $100 million, which is right in line with where we should be to protect our taxpayer dollars in case of an event of a financial collapse or economic downturn nationwide. So I think everything that we've been doing as a county government has been prudent and proactive in our financial management, and I want to continue that as county comptroller.
Amazing and incredibly important. I'll tell you that living out here in Amenia, sometimes we out in Eastern Dutchess County can feel like the distant relative
Yeah.
who's only ever seen at the family reunion.
Yeah.
If you're county controller, how will you work to benefit communities like Amenia and the rest of the communities out here in the eastern part of the county?
Yeah, well, number one in my mind always, Jamie, has been public safety. My father was a police canine sergeant, and obviously our Dutchess County Sheriff's Office does a tremendous job, particularly in the Harlem Valley corridor, where they're so relied upon to make sure that we're safe. And we have a drug task force that I've been so proud to support during my time in the county legislature. You don't even have to look back too far. It's as recent as this past May. The Dutchess County Drug Task Force apprehended 2 different individuals in the Harlem Valley, I believe in the town of Northeast and one in the town of Amenia,
Yep.
trafficking fentanyl in the community. The one guy had 150 plus bags of fentanyl to sell. I mean, the amount of children or whoever that could have consumed that, the amount of death and destruction that could have caused is immense. So as county comptroller, I want to make sure that I'm working closely with our sheriff's office, making sure that they have the money and the resources that they need, helping them to analyze their budget, and ensuring that the money that the county executive and that the county legislature is appropriating for the sheriff's office, for our drug task force, for the district attorney, that money is being spent the right way. Obviously, it goes to benefit the entire county. But those are just a couple of examples of it being. It's not just in Poughkeepsie where we see a drug problem. It's all across the county. We see it in the Harlem Valley. So that's a big priority. You look at some of our other grant initiatives that we've had through the legislature, the Housing Trust Fund that we put more than $10 million towards. We recently awarded $200,000 for a affordable housing complex that's going, I believe, on Powder House Road in Amenia. $200,000 to help with our housing situation because we have so many different communities here across Dutchess County that have a housing crisis, in an affordability crisis. So anything that I can do from that perspective as well, and that the comptroller's office can do to assist with our local municipalities in the housing crisis, we want to be there to support. And for other grant programs like Learn, Play, Create grant program, for veterans micro grants, for historical societies, promoting money for those organizations. When our local towns like Amenia are applying for funding, like the Wasay project did, and they were recently awarded $15,000 for new equipment and upgrades over there at their facilities. The comptroller's office is there to make sure that they're getting the money, and that we can help them with the grant process, the application process, anything we can do to benefit our communities. I will be there to help.
Well, you're certainly touching on the things that I hear people talking about out here in Eastern Dutchess, and that's great. Is there anything else you would like voters to know about you as they head to the polls? And is there a way that voters can connect with your campaign?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very active on my Facebook page, Will Truitt, Truitt for Dutchess. And I've kept a very active presence on there over the course of the last 10 years that I've been involved. And, I would just like people to know it's so important that we elect representatives at all levels of government, whether it's for town board, county legislature, county comptroller, county executive, whatever the position is. It has to be someone who knows our community, is ingrained in it, and has lived here. And I've lived in Dutchess County my entire life. My opponent has not. Moved here from New York City to Beacon. And very sadly and very concerningly, if you look up on Google, if you type in social democratic socialists elected in the United States of America and you go to the Wikipedia page, my opponent's name is prominently listed as an elected socialist here in Dutchess County as comptroller. And I think that is something that should be an alarm bell for anybody, whether you're Republican or Democrat. I don't think that's what we want overseeing our taxpayer dollars. And I truly believe we need someone who's willing to go out there, roll up their sleeves, put on boots, and go meet the voters. And that's what I've been doing. I've knocked on over 5,500 doors so far this year in every single town, including Amenia, and meeting with people. I am willing to go out there and work hard and fight for the people. I want the people to know who I am and that I'm representing their best interests. And truly, I'm asking for everyone's vote. It's a local year. Only about 30% of people, of voters, turn out to vote in a year like this, just because it's only a local year. But truly, it is an important election for a lot of different offices. And so I'm hoping that the people will come out and vote. And I would love to earn the support of people across all political affiliations.
Well, your campaign is exciting. Your 10 years of experience is exciting. Thank you for giving so much to the county. We wish you luck. Thank you for your time today. Thanks to our viewers for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more conversations with candidates and local leaders. I'm Jamie Vitiello, and this is the Amenia Republican Channel.